Verbalosity in your mind.
Alright guys, and welcome to round number 2 of the Chaos Vanguard Overwatch July Extravaganza event. Again, it's myself, FreightTrain, and my co-casting buddy Verbalosity with you today for round number 2. Verb, what can we expect from Hollywood?
Well, hopefully a longer game. Wait. But no, for reals. This map is... It's not tradition. It's not a full-on attack defense. It's hybrid. So it's attack defense for the first point, payload for the second. So matches can be expected to switch not only in terms of time but team comp. And speaking of team comps, looking around at these, I'm not saying anything too crazy. You've got your standard Genjis, McCrees, nothing really too out of the ordinary here.
Well, Roadhog is hanging out in this little doorway where normally Torbjorn turrets go. He's just waiting to go ahead and pull somebody. That's Reaper, yeah. He went behind. He's going to use the shift. There's the pull going out, but they're still on the point. Blue team has to get on top of this to kind of counter it. Reinhardt's going to get pushed away, and well, he ended up dashing into the payload. A little bit of a mistake, and now the fight's on.
Yeah, we have seen Sovereign Flex, pick up the first section on that capture, so it will hard save there. So they've got a bit of progress on the board. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Overwatch, it has a 2 checkpoint system and then you fully capture, so you don't have to sit there for the full time. You can do it in chunks if you need to.
Well, again, blue team is Sovereign, red team is Flare. They're going to be running the point again with that Lucio speed burst coming through. A nice flashbang coming out. Carson's going to have to use a shift to get out of there. Roadhog's taking a lot of damage. He's going to end up fall. Lumi sadly couldn't do anything about it. Now here comes Reinhardt trying to do everything he can, but looks like Red is going to take this first point almost.
Yeah, very nice use of the Dragon Blade. Unfortunately, the Deadeye that could have potentially saved the point was immediately eaten by the Defense Matrix and Phase Wheel. Defense Matrix, of course, because of the rework, is very strong for that kind of individual countering, and you don't have to burn the entire cooldown at once. So that is going to give Sovereign... They'll not give them the chance to get that quickly, but they will be able to stop it in decent time.
I like what they did, though. They went ahead and they pushed up, and they kept one person on the point to kind of delay anything else, so they can keep this pressure up with the payload now. So, like, that's kind of what they did there, and now Genji's over here. Everyone's on the top. Reinhardt's on the little elevator, just having a shield up right now. He's hanging around the side. And it looks like, again, 3 members, at least 3 members, 4 members on the right-hand side with one member on the payload, and that's Lucio.
And that's something that a lot of teams are sort of getting used to, is we're seeing a small push. This looks actually rather precarious.
Deadeye's up,
deployed, but Defense Matrix is not going to be eaten because he just got shattered.
Yeah, but our Deadeye really didn't do too much there, as only got 1 kill, unexpected. Normally you want to get a little bit more out of that. Tranquility does get used on top of this rooftop. Big fight going on the roof. Normally not where you see a lot of interaction going on. South area gets used on the bottom side. Twist takes out FaZe, and Peak took out him. And well, it's another trade out right there, but 3 members, which is the maximum players on the payload. 3 members moves it at the max speed.
Carlson tried to get that snipe shot on the grapple hub, but unfortunately won't find it. Widowmaker is not someone that is pulled out that much these days, but we are seeing it for the first time today. Is going to try and find Peak up top, and he will with the machine gun, and now the full fight around the payload has truly begun and is going decently for them, although Rex gets a very nice charge.
Yeah, he finds a nice charge, but ends up finding himself dead on the way down. A sound barrier for the blue team. Kai is going to end up using that. FaZe is kind of in the middle of nowhere, having to back up, get the team back up there. Now Action Jack is, well, Lucio needs to make sure that he's out of the way, but he's wall riding. That little wall riding buff really makes Lucio a threat to kind of be around anywhere.
I can't wait for
Dijon.
That the observatory section, and you can see Lucio's wall riding forever.
Yeah, they can do that forever. So red team regrouping over here, which is what you want to do. 3 minutes and 37 seconds on the clock, plenty of time. Dina's on the top. Everyone's kind of moving. Action Jackson's here. Arc's here. They got the 2 healers.
Flare have a lot of ults.
Red has
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Flare has so many ults right now.
Yeah,
they can make a good push out of this.
Taco has, or Taco has Deadeye available, and
Dragon Blade
has, will use the Earth Shatter into a shield. That's Overwatch 101. You can't do that. The fight continues. The counter Earth Shatter comes in, and now it's another payload fight.
Yeah, multiple self-destructs were deployed, but they won't actually find success on either side of the fight there. Fates will pick up quality. That will stop any healing, or, and more importantly, the Discord's going off. Zythrin gets a nice double pick on Taco and Kazarium. Rex gets a decent charge to break through the lines, and with that, Flare are going to shine their way all the way onto at least the first checkpoint and get themselves a 2nd point on the board.
4 minutes and some change on the clock right now, but this is where it becomes a little bit more of a death trap right here. This choke point's pretty nasty, but again, I like what Flare's doing. They take their advantage, they get the point, and they push up. They push way up there, they keep 1 person on the point, they kind of move the payload slowly, and get their advantage and move the payload up as far as possible. So they're doing a great job here.
And this is the point I wanted to mention before that 2nd point happened. Look how both teams are trying to essentially capture that forward space before the cart gets there. You saw on that first point, we saw Sovereign keep one guy on the point, and the rest of the team tried to move up, but then the rest of Flair immediately send their forward flankers up to try and secure that point.
Well, Lucio and the rest of the gang, everyone's over here. Reinhardt Rexes, he is leading the way right now, and the other Reinhardt on the blue team Test is trying to do everything he can. His shield's almost about to break. He has to drop it for a second. Here comes a big
Nice
Earth Shatter by Red.
Shatter.
There's the dive, yes.
And it looks like the self-destruct won't find anyone, but it's not even necessary because it's 4 men on the side of Sovereign down and out. Make that 5. The Dragon Blade deployed will mop up, and this is going to be a capture for the full 3 points, unless Quality can speed his way. No,
not
doesn't
quite.
get there in time.
Not quite.
The speed buff's high, but it's not going to be quick enough to actually get in there quick enough.
Well, yeah, they'll take that match right there. I mean, pretty handily. I mean, 3-0. I mean, they had plenty of time on the clock as well. We're switching sides. Do you think that we're going to see sudden death? You think, Sovereign can end up taking this?
They potentially could, while they did get pushed back relatively concisely on each area, they had the plays there. It's unfortunate that ultimates were being blocked left, right. A lot of the self-destructs and Earth Shatters coming out of Lumi and Juice respectively were just getting blocked each time.
You can't Earth Shatter. I mean, 101, Reinhardt shields block all that. You can't sit there and use an Earth Shatter into a Reinhardt shield, and that was actually a kind of a big bust, as they could have countered pretty heavily with that ability, but they weren't able to get anything going on, as it just got all eaten up by the shield. Do you think we're going to see any? Well, looking at the teams, we do see
it's literally, it's almost a mirror. It's almost a mirror. Actually, is it literally? Yeah, it's literally a mirror.
That's actually funny. We'll see.
I can understand why each one of the picks on those teams is very good for a specific thing, and they're the best in that thing. We may see like a Reaper pulled out by Sovereign here, since they are now on the attacking side. They may want to use the Reaper to break through Rex and Fate's Wheel. Fate's Wheel has been doing quite well on the self-destructs, getting a couple of them, but more importantly, in my opinion, Zytharian has been going off on this McCree.
Yeah, these McCrees, the McCrees have been really what's been, I mean, obviously last game we ended up seeing McCree with a big Deadeye kill in the back, was able to get a lot of damage. This time we're seeing another well-played McCree over here, and that seems to be the name of the game. Get yourself a McCree player that understands how to play the game and understand positioning, because really McCree is about positioning. Get yourself in the right position, and
I
you'll
see
be
a
able to take advantage. So. Oh, we swap? Oh,
yeah.
Actually, okay, we decided to swap. Okay, so no exact mirror matchup, but blue team is going to make their way over here. We'll see if they can take the first point.
If Lumi does place his hooks right, he's going to be able to pick up Arc and kill him before we can even get a Discord off.
Well, he tried to throw out the hook right there, but again, the shield blocks, so you got to be wary of that. But they're going to try to take this left flank, which we see a lot of teams attempt to do. D.Va is kind of just using it to defense matrix. We got a couple people coming around the backside, but the other McCree, Zai, is there. And now back and forth we go, right? It's like ring around the rosy on this building. Blue team doesn't know exactly where they want to go.
Yeah, at this point, they are taking, Twos especially, he's down to about 50 health, but he's slowly getting regenerated. If he's not careful, we are going to see a couple of them flank, and the fight will begin. Rex get a nice double kill, including a charge. Carlson will pick up Zytharian, and the rest of Flair get a full team wipe. Flair just burns Sovereign off the map.
Yeah, Rex is on fire right now. He's got an ultimate available. He just got off of, he's no longer on fire, which on fire, if you don't know, if you're new to Overwatch for whatever reason, you're building your ultimate meter faster. Everyone has an ult meter up to a certain amount of percentage. Once it's 100, you get to use your Q, and you get to play the game most of the time.
Most of the time. It looks
most
like
of the time.
Sovereign are going for the same thing again. They're taking a lot of poke for it. They do have a Lucio and the Zenyatta for healing, but they're going to have to try and either split up or get some sort of break in the enemy defenses, because they're not getting it right now.
Let's see, Rex and the other Test are just there. Oh, that's a pull. Rex is going to fall.
Dragon Blade.
The shield goes down. There's the self-destruct.
It hits him. Oh,
Red
that's
team.
a kick. That is
Flair.
a kick in the teeth for Sovereign there.
Yeah,
that is
Flair.
2 wipes in 2 pushes.
That's really gonna hurt the momentum swing right there. We have 2 minutes. They probably have about another. I mean, if they realistically want to end up taking this map tie it up 3-3, they've got to take this within the next push or 2 at the most.
Yeah. They are, once again, going to go for the Reinhardt grind forwards. They will Lucio boost straight in the front door this time. Hook onto a discorded Reinhardt, but look at that Earth Shatter Freight just demolished them.
Oh, they're going to try to use this tranquility to sit there and counter it, and that counter Earth Shatter comes through as well, and now Lumen's going to hang up here. He's throwing out the big Roadhog attacks. I mean, that does a lot of damage, and on the back end is tested. They're just doing everything they can, but it doesn't matter. Red is still holding this point.
That shield was really nice by Two Stick to not give Cytherian any options for a Deadeye. All of his targets were either protected or out of line of sight. Self-destruct is gonna do one kill. It's gonna take out Zeus because his shield was destroyed before the self-destruct went off, but Fate Wheels is gonna be able to delay for a little bit, maybe give his team an opportunity to get back, but it's gonna be very, very close.
Well, this is what they needed right here. I said 1 or 2 more pushes. We got 60 seconds left. They really need to make this happen if they want to do it. So, yeah. They've got this right now. So, they're good. So, at 60 seconds, they'll take it with about, it should be, right at 60 seconds, just right there. So, 4 minutes and 1 second to take the next point. I mean, it's a long distance. Hollywood is a long way.
Yeah, that is... This area in particular is where people like, well, specifically D.Va and Genji thrive because of the verticality. They're going to be able to give Reinhardt a very hard time because you can just go right over the shield.
Well, everyone's kind of meeting up on top of this roof. Again, this couple, I mean, like, normally most of the time I don't see that many people up on top of these roofs, but they're really taking the height advantage flare. They want to be above the other players. Really kind of surprised that they're going to go that high, not to see a jump right on defense, but they're still working on everything. Peak does have ultimate, so you got to watch out for the Dragon Blade.
They've got to do something. They're just letting them walk forward right now.
Well, I think
Peak
they
does have Dragon Blade.
him? Yeah, I don't know. Peak has a Dragon Blade. Are they trying to, like, bait? Well, there's a Tranquility to use on offense, so...
Deadeye is not going to find anyone, unfortunately. Well, Peak is going to have the Dragon Blade, and maybe, look, looks like you were correct, Freight. The ultimates from above will be somewhat effective here.
And blue team actually just ends up destroying them right there. I mean, they stayed up too high. I thought they were maybe trying to bait for like a Peak ultimate or something like that, but it just didn't seem to happen. And that wipe actually gives them the second checkpoint. And now with just under 3 minutes to go, I think they have a chance to put this in the sudden death.
Oh, poor Lucio just got immediately spiked into the wall by Rex. Oh no, that's just unfortunate. And it looks like the rest of Flair have reassembled to try to go for this defense and stop them getting the checkpoint.
Yeah, 3 meters to go, and they just barely get there. But they were just trying to rush it. They've got to get this if they want any sort of extra time on the clock.
Now, looking at the way this is in terms of ultimates now, Freight. Oh, never mind, that's one less ultimate. Lumi's going to pop his and immediately get shut down. That's a questionable use. The rest of the team was not there to take advantage of any game he would have got off the whole hog.
Well, yeah, the whole hog definitely not being a hold for his team members right there. And Genji, it looks like a lot of individual play going on right now. A big self-destruct, Deadeye's over there on the side. The self-destruct is really just going to be used as a zoning tool.
Looks like GG is being called yeah, looks like they're just going to roll in for play of the game. It looks like, yeah, the stopwatch rules, they weren't able to push it in time, so the win is going to go in the way of Flair. So, that game in general, as we're going to wait for all the clock to actually roll in, what do you think of the actual pushes? Do you think they could have done anything different in terms of team comp, Freight? Because I'm struggling for ideas.
The Roadhog. The Lumi on Roadhog just didn't really do a lot right here, as again, you know, the stopwatch time is what's going to end up causing this game to be a victory for Flair. They just didn't get the time right there. So it's a question of whether Lumi on, you know, this Roadhog would have done anything. And then again, Teso, he was on the Genji doing okay. This is where you kind of like, maybe you could have gone to a Pharah again, kind of got above and around them. You want to really split the defense up. If you're going to flank left, you want to also have somebody that can kind of go right to get the back end. And Pharah is great for either going left or right and above. So I would have liked to see a little bit more of like an offensive Pharah maybe for blue, and they might have had a better chance.
Yeah, Pharah hasn't had the greatest go of it recently, you know, with the rise of McCree, with D.Va having to change his defense matrix, and even though Ana is banned, Ana is still around, makes her life a bit of a trouble. She has fallen off a bit, but Pharah, in the verticality of the space that is Hollywood, she could have done some work here. Personally, what I would have wanted to see from the actual offense out of Sovereign is they hesitated a lot on these pushes. They burnt the Lucio speed boost, pushed it a bit, maybe to the left or right, got in position, and then just kind of sat in the area.
Well, I mean, red team's going to end up taking this victory about 15 seconds remaining until the clock runs out. They're just going to end up taking this W, as blue team's members are already disconnected from the game. So, yeah, I mean,
if they actually, I didn't remember this because of the way we're actually running competitive mode here for all the rules set. If you fully push in, you get coin flip, and then it goes to the third game. It just delays proceedings. So they're gonna wait and actually get the play of the game through, and then we should have the next game up on the graphs, which I believe is going to be. I think it's going to be Northern Friends versus CV Sorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Although they could have already started on that game.
Well, we'll see if they have or not, but that is going to be the end of this game. Flare Esports takes it and will be in the finals. The finals will be a best of 3, guys, so you'll see a little bit more action going on there. So go ahead and stay tuned with us. Again, for Verbalosity, I'm FreightTrain, casting for the Chaos Vanguard Overwatch Extravaganza event here in July. Hang out with us. Stay tuned for the next game finals. Best out of 3. Stay tuned.
I'm spinning and everything is confusing. I can't seem to slow my mind down. Is it you? Is it me? Is it us? Is it lust? Is it trust? Is it just 'cause I can't figure it out?